Almost ready?
Yes, sir.
That's the sounds of the rising stars. Take the Lord with you. You're gonna need it. Y'all, we getting ready for the open line. Well, you gotta have an open mind with Brother J and Sister Khadijah. All right. You ready?
The Open Line Radio Show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing, and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building, at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers.
You are rolling with the Open Line Radio Show, heard exclusively on KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana.
KIEE, the Louisiana Superstation, presents the community's #1 radio talk show, The Open Line. If you have an open mind.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Open Line. I'm Brother Jay. I'll be here with my co-host, Sister Khadijah. Stay tuned and relax for the Open Line on KIEE 88.3, your superstation. Welcome to the Open Line on KIEE 88.3, your superstation. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of KIEE 88.3 staff or management. Thanks for listening.
Celebrating Black History 365 on the Open Line Radio Show and the People's Tech and Entertainment Show on KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana. Celebrating Janelle Chargois and the Open Line Radio Show, radio personality and community activist. She launched Lafayette's first Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade and co-founded the Greater Southwest Louisiana Black Chamber of Commerce. Chargois also founded several youth initiatives which include Young, Gifted, and Black, Future Shock, Heritage Community Marching Band, and the Heritage School of the Arts. The annual African American History Parade, she also founded Senior Citizen Appreciation Day. Chargois was a giant in the world of radio and community activism in Lafayette, serving as the General Manager, Chief Administrative Officer, and radio personality for KJCB 770 AM. Her radio show, The Open Line, was the leading morning radio show for the African American community and was the first African American woman to receive the Louisiana Association of Broadcaster Gold Mike Award. She was also the regional director of the Louisiana State Conference of the NAACP, celebrating Black History 365 on the Open Line Radio Show and the People's Tech and Entertainment Show on KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana.
Hi fans, this is your favorite actor. When I am in the Lafayette area, I listen to the Open Line Radio Show with Sister Khadijah and Brother Jay. Heard exclusively on KIEE 88.3, your superstation for South Louisiana.
Good morning, Hotel Pabarigani or Assalamu Alaikum. It's another beautiful day this morning. And yes, indeed, to our listening audience, we're hoping that you really have a beautiful day. And to me, every day is beautiful, whether it's pouring down rain, whether it's a storm, you know, all of that is really a beautiful day. You know, when we have problems with our health, we have problems with our finances, we just have problems all over the world. However, when you are grateful for being alive, when you are grateful that the good Lord gave you another day, that in itself is ideal. When I think about Amy Copeland was this active young lady. She went somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where at, but she wound up getting some type of bacteria, and it took and it infected most of her body. And in order to keep her alive, they had to amputate both her hands. They had to amputate, I'm not sure if it's both of her legs or one leg, so please don't quote me on that. But one of the main things she wanted to do is to be able to go in the forest, in the wildlife, you know, get fresh air there and everything. And it took some years. And like Amy said, you could only feel self-pity to a certain extent. After that, you know, you got to get up. You got to say, okay, this happened to me. I lost this. I'm a double amputee. I have health problems. I have heart problems, and just hit it right in the bud. I mean, just stop the self-pity for yourself. And you know, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. And if you do take it the wrong way, it happens to the best. But we just got to remember, just thank God that we are here to breathe another day. Just thank God, our ancestors. Just thank people in general. Show them your appreciation. Hi, I know you're suffering with your back. I don't know how that pain feel, but look, I'm praying for you. But look, I'm keeping you talking. I'm keeping you with the ancestors. I'm asking them to send you some type of relief. And we got to think of that. I seen this young lady yesterday, and the horrific killing of her son. And I remember the pain of losing a loved one that close when my grandson Raymond Shaheed Barnett Jr. was killed and everything. I remember that pain, and it never goes away, and it never will go away. So let's keep that sister in our prayers. You know, she lost her son behind foolishness and everything. We got to keep people like that close to our heart, you know, because they are one breath from giving it all up. So, you know, anyone that's going through horrific times, you know, give them a hug. Say hello. I'm keeping you in my thoughts, Brother Jay.
Good morning, South Louisiana. Thank you, Sister Khadijah, for that wonderful introduction and thought-provoking moment. I want to say good evening to the South Louisiana listening audience. You are listening to the Open Line radio show and also watching on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15. And also the new website is is up, Sister Khadija. You have it handy. It's KIEE 88.3 FM. Go to the new website, and you can listen a little bit more easily. I'm going to continue to bring it up. I got it written down exactly how the web link should go, and I'm going to pull it up. But the website is back up, and you can listen to the great programming here at 88.3 FM. As always, we want to thank the staff and management, Mr. John Freeman, for all the wonderful work he's doing in incubating all these great shows here at 88.3 FM. And you know, Black History 365.
And you got Mr. Charlie.
Charlie.
You have Brother Shahi. You have so many people. Don't blame it on Mr. Charlie. Yeah, you have so many people that's doing good work.
Yes, and I want to say, Sister Khadija, you're right. There's much going on. So much going on before we bring our attorney on the line. She's not going to be in today. She could be on the line hopefully in a minute.
Oh, Dua.
And we want to discuss some of these things with her also.
Well, where the line at for her?
She's coming. The ACLU and another law firm, Linklaters law firm, recently done something impossible for one of you callers who was bringing this up all the time, called qualified immunity. Well, you know, they defeated an impossible legal hurdle. This, according to the press release from the ACLU. Qualified immunity after officer racially profiled black man forces him to submit to an unconstitutional search for an immediate release from the ACLU. The ACLU of Louisiana has again defeated qualified immunity at an enormous legal challenge in a lawsuit against the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff Office for racially profiling and harassing an unarmed black man. Federal Judge Lance M. Alfrick, that's how you pronounce it, Alfrick, denied a motion for a summary judgment brought by the St. Tammany Deputy Alexander Thomas in the civil rights lawsuit filed by the ACLU and the Linklaters LLP on behalf of Bruce Washington and Gregory Lane. So hopefully in the near future, it goes deep into the article. And that's what I'm saying. You have to have groups that you support who can go to the court and fight these things because, I mean, you don't have no other recourse but to accept what those rogue departments are doing to you. So what you have to do, beat them in court when you can. And I salute the ACLU. They have filed 50 lawsuits against various law enforcement around the state of Louisiana. And they have been winning most of them because when they go to court, they have their ducks in a row.
Oh, yes, they sure do.
Attorney Alana Odoms, who's been against many times on our show, a good friend of ours. We definitely appreciate her, Sister Khadija. And you also have another important announcement.
Well, yes, I'm seeing that I have that there's a court hearing to determine future of Voting Rights Act and black representation on the Louisiana Supreme Court. They're asking that you join them for a voting rights hearing that will determine whether black voters will lose their right to elect a candidate of their choice to Louisiana Supreme Court. Chisholm versus State of Louisiana will be heard in the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. Court hearing in Chisholm versus State of Louisiana, and that's going to be at the United States Court of Appeal for the Fifth Circuit, 600 Camp Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70130 East Courtroom on the second floor, and that's going to be Monday, March the 6th. That's going to be March the 6th.
And we want to welcome Attorney Dwight Smith.
Hello, Attorney Dwight Smith. Hi.
Morning, and listen, we appreciate you. I appreciate those great throws you had on your float. I don't want to make anybody jealous or get them all riled up again. That, you know, when I said your throws were the best throws compared to some other people's throws that I'm in the same room with.
Oh.
So she didn't even crack a smile on that one.
No, because I was trying to get some of her throws too.
Great Black History Parade, and I'm glad you participated.
We always participate.
Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the attorney, the one who had the great throws.
Okay, yeah. All right. The great throws. We had some great throws, too. Go ahead. Attorney Dwight, did you hear what's going, what I had read earlier?
No, I came in on the tail end of that.
Okay.
What were you reading?
Okay, I'll repeat it. They're asking that you join them for voting rights hearing that will determine whether black voters will lose their right to elect a candidate of their choice to the Louisiana Supreme Court. Chisholm versus State of Louisiana will be heard in the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, and that's going to be in New Orleans, Louisiana, 600 Camp Street, second floor, and that's going to be March the 6th, Monday, March the 6th at 9 a.m. Oh, I would love to go.
Oh, nice.
I think that, sister, I don't know if that deals with gerrymandering, trying to do away with a certain district to elect a black judge on that particular court. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I haven't heard about that, so that's new information to me.
Yes. And the ACLU is spearheading an effort to try to block all of these shenanigans that we keep seeing put forward by people who want to, step on the rights of other people to have a say in the judicial system.
Right.
And also, I know you heard that there's a function. Listen to me. There's a function. Well, Louisiana has one of the most black judges in their state.
That.
Yeah, you seen that?
Yeah, I saw. Looked like it was a poster or something that they had put up and they unveiled. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, yes, that's really good. My take on it is that, we have the most black judges in the state. Louisiana do, and I remember years ago when some good lawyers fought to have lawyers become judges, and it's like, it's always like, how do I say this and I don't offend anyone? Well, so be it. I'm gonna offend somebody anyway, but. I remember when certain people went to these certain judges, and I'll call their name out, but I'm not gonna call it out on the radio. But they know who they are. They went to them to sign on to this petition to take Louisiana to court, so that black judges, black lawyers could have the opportunity to become judges. And yet, part of the argument was that black lawyers, they know what it's like being black. They know the hardship that we have to go through, and they would be more sympathetic than the white judges. And go and behold, we are still we're not first, but we second when it comes to the highest incarceration rate in the world. We are second. We had first for a long time, Brother Jay. We are second. So what does that say? Just because they are of your color, that don't mean jack anything.
Yeah, and they has even being an elected black judge, you have a lot of tremendous pressure on some of these traditions and rules that being put on these judges. You can't hear me?
I could hear you. Look like somebody knocking to come in.
Okay.
Check to see who they are first. Yeah. Well, yes. Go, Attorney Dwyer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm in agreement with everything y'all are saying.
Okay, and so I just had to say that because, like, I know I was one of them that was really close to the ones that was trying to get lawyers to sign on, black lawyers to sign on to this petition when they was going to take Louisiana to court, and they did take Louisiana to court. And I know one of my good lawyer friend who was part of that was Sister Akila Mawusi Ali. Some people know her as Connie Sattler, but she was one that was on there. They had several others that was on that had started the petition. Sylvia Cook. We had Bernadette. I can't think of Bernadette name out in. Is it Brobridge? Attorney Bernadette. I just can't think of her name offhand. Attorney Dwyer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was definitely a good movement that you helped with because for those that didn't know, at one point in time, there were no Black judges that were sitting on the bench. So that was the result of that. We have those two different seats, which are B and D now.
Yes, and as you can see, it's very important that we do have representation. And you have to understand, just because some people have our color, don't necessarily that they are for the best of us. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Taking my cold.
Yes, ma'am.
My neighbor has a dog, and in the afternoon, he lets the dog out. We have called the police, and he let the dog out, and the dog is very aggressive.
Ooh.
And he used to be with the sheriff department. So when the police come, they greet each other with a handshake, talk a little bit. They put the dog back in the house, and he comes to us and say, well, the dog is not bad. He's not going to bite nobody. And then he leaves. So I want to know what we could do, because this dog is going to bite somebody eventually.
The dog is going to bite somebody eventually. Oh.
Yeah, that's a problem. It sounds like y'all were doing the right thing calling the police. I mean, but maybe you need to elevate above the police officers that are coming out and go to their supervisors, because this is the thing. In Louisiana, and especially in this type of situation, if the dog bites somebody, the owner is strictly liable. So that means that that's one of those offenses where it doesn't require an intent, and that they were intentionally trying to make the dog bite you. Whether or not they were or not, they're still responsible, period, because it's strict liability.
Yes, thank you. But like I said, they greet each other with the handshake and everything. Still little big words, and next thing you know, that dog is back in the house, and the next day the dog come out and it's the same thing.
Caller, do you stay? Well, you don't have to tell me this, but wherever you stay at, there's ordinances. You need to.
The dog is not on the leash even. He doesn't even put the dog on the leash.
Ooh,
that's why I say the dog is just crazy.
Violation. Well, yes. Another thing, your council, you need to go and address this with your parish council. Put that on record. I don't know where you stay at, and I don't want to know, but that's one way of getting it. And go to the parish council and tell them, the dog is not on no leash. The dog is a violent dog. Every time you call the police department, they come in, they do their little high five with the handshake, and then come back and tell you, well, oh, that's not a bad dog. But they don't live there.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Well, take those information that Attorney Dwight gave you and myself.
And I have a question for Brother J.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yesterday Billy Nunzgetta.
Yeah, Billy Nunskinger. Yes.
Yeah, he paroled a crawfish yesterday.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that. Sarcastically, I'm gonna say it for my disclaimer. This is what happens in Louisiana. We good at
mockery,
promoting the asinine stuff in the name of tourism. We technically are almost last in everything that's negative. We first in all the good partying, the good Mardi Gras, the good eating that makes those bad outcomes when we in the diabetes line over there on the way to the hospital. But this is the stuff. I would rather him see him promoting some great stuff like the Emmett Till movie, Black History, where young black people, black children could understand their history, and that would contribute to them knowing they don't have to be shooting each other for nothing because they have a great history of fighting for the right thing. So, I feel so much different about the way people see the state of Louisiana.
And I saw it as they didn't have nobody over there that looked like me.
Oh, did you see that with your own two eyes?
Yes, indeed. We don't eat crawfish?
Yeah, I seen that too. I seen that too.
We buy a lot of crawfish, but we don't participate.
And you could tell it was extravagantly put on with taxpayers' money, all of the finest of food. It was decorated beautifully and everything. And that had to be about a good $5,000 gig for that couple of seconds worth of video. I seen that. Not even one person that came close to looking like they had a suntan on or were black. You're right.
That's right. I noticed that straight off. I said, well, where's me?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Yes,
ma'am.
you're right
Yes,
on
ma'am.
point.
I would advise everybody
All right,
Thank you.
go to the next cookout with Attorney DeWitt. She has the best crawfish. I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah, I love some crawfish.
Yeah, one thing I want to segue into is it's very controversial. I'm not going to try to get anybody mad, but the city of Abbeville instituted a citywide curfew. Now, the thing is, I've been on the phone and back and forth with the Louisiana ACLU. That's the go-to people if I want to know something about something before I open my mouth. But it seemed to me curfews could only be called for in a state of emergency or extreme situation, even on a local level. If you remember what happened in Ville Platte when the United States Department of Justice has to come in when they instituted a walking curfew that affected the black community. So I gotta wonder how Chief Hardy could call for a curfew. No matter we know about the shooting, we know about these killings, but when a curfew is over with, it could go back to the same thing. Because if you were to put a curfew in the city of Lafayette, so many people would suffer. The system would suffer. So I'm trying to understand: is that constitutional for them to call for a curfew in the city of Abbeville?
I don't know about that one because, like I said, it just depends. It's usually in a situation of emergency or exigent circumstances.
Yes.
Like they had a do at the inception of COVID and all of that. So I'm not sure at this point what the emergency is.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had a number of shootings in the city of Abbeville. No, we understand that. They have shootings all over the place. They have multiple shootings. For a city that size to call a curfew, sometimes you got to give up your rights for a few that make trouble. So I'm just asking. I asked the ACLU. I'm waiting on an answer from them, and they are certainly researching.
Well, to me, I don't see nothing wrong with the curfew. I mean, I know.
But that going inconvenience a lot of people.
Okay, so it's going to inconvenience a lot of people.
You're subject to be pulled over and arrested if you don't have any good cause.
That's a problem right
there. In modern day times, that doesn't apply. That probably would only fly in the state of Louisiana. But any other place, there'd be some challenges constitutionally.
But because I kind of thought that, I mean, if you're not going to night school, what are our young people out in?
Well, I don't know if the curfew is aimed at young people. It's aimed at the young, certain teenagers, or it's aimed at everybody, adults.
That's what I was going to say too. Usually, you have curfews dealing with minors as well. But what's the wording of this?
Yes.
Who's it for?
Okay. Well, this is a question. We hopefully gonna get the answers soon on that. Okay. We got a caller.
Yeah, caller, you're on. You have a question?
Yes. If you go through time and history about these so-called curfew, it's really for the black people and for them to violate their civil rights. As long as they pass a law that gives them the right to violate people's rights, they're going to do it. We can't keep going over these simple things like these white people come up with curfews. Curfew has nothing to do with violence.
Yes, sir.
It has nothing to do with the shooting. It has every right to do with violating black people's right as human beings in their community. And until we start correcting all these things and stop repeating what the people tell us to say and make us believe that curfew is going to help us, we incriminate our ourselves. This is the problem with us as black people. We don't do our
Mr. Kevin, Mr. Kevin,
black leaders and so-called white man who always say we got to listen to what they say because they're going to help us.
Mr. Kevin, I got a question. Ask him if that's an adult or it's a children.
We agreed to let them put curfews on our community. It didn't stop nothing.
Mr. Kevin.
And increase the crime against black people.
Yeah, Troy D. Mr. Kevin.
Yes.
Brother Jay has a question for you. And can you turn down your radio some, please? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the question is that an adult curfew for everybody, or that's something for the juvenile?
That's for everybody that got dark skin.
You're not supposed to be doing that.
You thinking that it's for the children. It's not for the children.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Black people, for them to have rights to violate you because we agree on this law.
It's for everybody.
Listen to the laws and how they word them. It's against us. It's not to help us.
Okay.
Okay, so
we hear you. It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they gonna tell you it's for the children, but yet still they gonna violate more black adults than anything who's trying to correct their children. This system is not trying to help black people in the struggles we going through that they didn't put bans and regulation on us. It's to confuse us, to make us think they're trying to help us, and then they're going to tell you they are the problem with putting all the laws against the children. And wherever they hang out, and wherever the black people does as a real law to them, they take it away from them. And every black person that says it's going to help, they part of the white system too.
Okay. All right. Well, you're welcome. At least we got clarification.
Yeah, I thought it was I knew it was a adult because it caught the ACLU by surprise when I sent her the text. He said she can't believe this, so they go research it with their constitutional lawyers. And it's not so much that I'm upset about that. I know they're trying to stop some of the shooting, but the idea sometimes they want you to give up your rights for certain things, I don't know. I don't know, attorney.
All right.
Yeah. It's just not enough information there for us. Too many questions that need to be answered. So when you get some more information from the ACLU about what we can discuss it some more.
Yes. And earlier on the press release, the ACLU and Linklaters law firm overcome nearly impossible legal hurdle by defeating qualified immunity after officer racially profiles black man, forces him to submit to an unconstitutional search. The ACLU of Louisiana has again defeated qualified immunity. Qualified immunity, that is very powerful. An enormous legal challenge in a lawsuit against the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff Office for racially profiling and harassing an unarmed black man. Federal Judge Lance M. Afrique denied a motion for summary judgment brought by St. Tammany Deputy Alexander Thomas in the civil rights lawsuit filed by the ACLU. This is really good because this is really important. I know that Tradi, he mentions that all the time about they have qualified immunity. That's what we got to fight against. So this is one step of fighting toward that, correct?
Correct. So anytime you have that qualified immunity, that is going to be a big hurdle to try to get around. So it's going to be an issue. And then that's Judge Afrique, so that's federal court that's in as well.
Yes, and what they're saying is that, for decades, qualified immunity, which function as near absolute immunity, has shielded police officers, other governmental employees from being held responsible for all sorts of malfeasance.
Yeah, it's so hard to get around, like especially in federal court, because you have the defense attorneys that represent these departments, and it's a lot of what you call motion practice, where they'll file all these motions and they have qualified immunity, so they're not responsible. So yeah, it's a big hurdle.
And it also on March the 5th, 2020, officers violently seized Miss Perkins, a black woman and mother, forcing her face into the pavement and digging their knees into her back and legs. Miss Perkins suffered a lot of injuries. Helplessly recorded Miss Perkins' son. He recorded the brutal arrest Unfortunately, the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff Office also refused to accept responsibility for his misconduct in this case, choosing instead to ask of the Fifth Circuit to overturn that ruling. Paula, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
I have a question for the lawyer.
A question for the lawyer. Lawyer is on.
Oh, yesterday when that beautiful lady lost her son, that got shot right in front of her.
Yes.
And she said that she went to the police with a tape showing that the criminal had, harassed her son. Why do you think the police never acted on that case?
Why you think the police never acted on that case? You heard what the caller stated?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't exactly speak for. All I can say is, in the event that it goes to a trial, she can get that to the defense attorney, and the attorney can work with that and try to get that. And with that.
Right. Go ahead, Attorney Dwyer.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say because I'm not sure of the reasoning. Like sometimes police officers will accept some stuff and some other stuff they won't accept. But the police are not the final say. You'll always have your day in court. So to me, that is the time to try to get that in. It's not the end of the.
I think the concern was more like the police didn't take that complaint serious before that happened with the shooting. Them to step in and when they had, according to what she said in front of the cameras, that she went to the officers, went to the police to file a complaint with video evidence that somebody was harassing her son, and that ultimately led to later on for that event happening where another person killed her son.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
He killed her son.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
At the gym,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and that's what has happened so many times.
You file a complaint, and they don't take you seriously.
They don't, and the reason why they don't take you seriously is because they want that outcome to come out.
Really?
A lot of times they don't take you serious because they want that kind of outcome to come out. Carly, a quick caller. You're on.
Yes, I got a quick comment. Just like the other day with the young lady that got shot in New Iberia. She was a witness to a crime, and the guy that shot her was in the courtroom with her. He followed her to her house and shot her 4 times. And number one, the state was supposed to put some kind of witness protection program with her for testifying on this.
Yeah.
So they let him walk out of there, go up to the girl, kill her. This is why they're trying to find him so bad, because they know they're responsible for this.
Yes, that is the truth.
So if we don't cast and put all these things out, people won't know. They think it's just black on black crime. But it's orchestrated by white people who put them in this kind of crime. And we got to tell everybody about these cases because a lot of people don't know because they refuse to know the truth.
Yes.
So keep talking about it, and people are going to start waking up and realize we as black people, every law that was created was for us not to have our liberties and freedom, no matter if they put black people as judges and DAs. Their job is to make sure they pass the white ideology on to the next generation, making us think that things are changing because we see black faces. It's not changing until we change the whole law system and not reform the police system, but disband it and put leaders in there that want this country to succeed. Thank you all again.
Okay, you say ban the police officers? I forgot what he said, but sometimes we need police officers, and this society that we're in, the taxpayers are paying their job, they're paying their wages. From paying their wages, it would be the best in their interest to do what's right in the community. Attorney Dwyer?
Yeah, so what I was going to say earlier is they need to take stuff like that more seriously. The reason that you see so many different PROs filed in the court and why you see so many of them that are granted, even if temporarily up until the court hearing, is because judges take that stuff very seriously. And based on the allegations on the paper, if they feel like it's something that's so severe, they take that stuff seriously, because what has happened in the past is when those TROs haven't been granted and then people go and kill somebody, you know, and they could have potentially done something about it. So, I mean, I just feel like police definitely need to take that stuff more seriously, just like the judges do, and until they're able to actually vet it out.
Yes, it's so much violence. Also, a side note that Louisiana also just earned them another dubious honor of being third or second in the number of gun and violent death, according to a report on the local channel yesterday. Something else to be not so proud of.
Consistently last in everything.
Yeah. So, attorney, what advice you would give to someone if they, let's say if someone was pulled over for a traffic stop and they didn't have their registration and license complied, right? And yes. Oh, wait. Someone else.
Ahead.
Well, go ahead. Yeah. Someone else. Let's say someone who did not have all the proper legal papers, and they found themselves in the court system. Should they contact an attorney to defend their charges? I know I segue into something because something came up in my face, so I kind of like segue into something else.
No, you good. And the fact that you said that they're dealing with it in court lets me know that they actually survived that encounter. So I would say during it, make sure you're doing everything possible to make sure that you get out of that, because right there is not the time for you to have your trial on the side of the road. You need to live to actually to do it. So I absolutely would recommend that you get an attorney, because there are so many different rules and statutes and stuff that like just don't know. So give that to somebody who's been to school for that, who's passed the bar, who knows these laws, who's researched these laws, so that they can handle it for you.
Just another side note, another press release, ACLU just sending me tons of stuff to inform the public. The ACLU of Louisiana settles a case for a disabled black man who was brutalized by Thibodaux Police Department despite complying with their demands. It's the Third Justice Lab, which is the platform that they are using to go after these police departments. The Third Justice Lab settlement demonstrates progress toward combating discriminatory policing practices and achieving police accountability. So that's what we all working for. We all working towards, and we definitely appreciate those them dealing with those cases and having other law firms to participate in those certain cases that are so egregious.
Yeah, because you make a good point. You absolutely could obey everything the officer said. We've seen these cases unfold before our eyes. License registration, when you're reaching for the license registration, then they're being shot. So it's a lot. I mean, I'm what to ask to that.
It's an ongoing thing. That's what people want to rest on the law. The fight is eternal to me. The system. Listen, I want to give you a little humor. You heard of the issue with the creator of the Dilbert cartoon, and he basically said he was done with black people. He supported black folks in the past because of a poll by the Rasputin Corporation, which is a right-wing think tank organization. They put out these polls, political polls, and they was asking the question, is it okay to be white? And they, according to their numbers, the people they talked to, when they added all the percentages up, that over 50% of the people don't think it's okay to be white. And so he basically saying black folks are, because of that, he got so angry and he went on a rant on social media and said, black folks are a hate group. Wow. Coming from a status person who has a nationally known comic strip and all of this money he's making with the Dilbert strip and 300 newspapers. Well, they pulled most of those publications from him. And now you got Elon Musk co-signing to that, saying, yeah, the media is racist. and towards white folks. So he basically is co-signing to what the creator, I think his name is Scott something, Scott Adams. He basically co-signing, saying that black folks are a hate group. Can we be a hate group? Sister Khadijah. But ask her that question.
At the bottom of the totem pole, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No. So, but that is the big story. That's the reason I brought it up on this radio show.
And what he did say is that he done so much for black people. He didn't do anything for no black people, and I don't. And he didn't do anything for any black people. And sure, move away. It's about time y'all moved away.
Well, you saying it just like the other talk show hosts. All the black talk show hosts.
But Jay,
that's what they're saying. They're saying what you're saying.
But how you
tell them move away?
Yeah, he needs to go. I mean, overseas somewhere where it's lily white. Go ahead and leave. What is being done is that we're tired of the preferential treatment that white folks get. We're tired of seeing police brutality. 99% of the time it's us that's getting our tail beat. At one time they was just beating the men. Now it's men, women, children, kids. They are doing all of that. We're tired of their preferential treatment. That's what we tired of that white privilege. That's what we tired of.
Yeah, racist is prominent front and center.
If that would have been a white lady that had testified, trust me, in the court, that man wouldn't have never been able to leave from the courthouse, follow her home, and shoot her 4 to 5 times.
Wow.
Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
A comment.
You're on.
Oh, last week I was watching Joy Reid's show, and she said Trump was on one of those conservative radio talk shows, and he said that if he's elected president, he's going to bring back the guillotine, hanging, and something else. She said that's scary. If he wins re-election, he going to reinstate all these because he want to be tough on crime.
Well, I tell you one thing, he needs to bring it back because the reason why he needs to bring it back because he would be the first one to try it out with all these different crimes that he done committed.
You never know what he's up to. And again, I bring up that whole issue about the Dilbert creator Scott Adams because it's a prominent issue. Race has always been part of the conversation in America that they don't want to deal with.
Let me tell you this. You see that that Constitution? Mm-hmm. That Constitution was never about us. That Constitution, that BS Constitution, was for white folks, by white folks, to protect white folks in their entirety. We had nothing to do with that Constitution. All they wanted was to make sure that we remained as slaves, we remained submissive, we remained being raped, we remained being murdered. That's what was to protect them.
Okay, sister, your lines are ringing off.
Caller.
She's upset right now.
I'm sorry, caller. Call right back. I went to you a little bit too fast.
I guess we are a hate group.
But no, you have you have to think about it. Go with that Constitution. That's never was for us. Mm-hmm. It never was about us. Always about them. And we slippery try to get in there to try to fit where we know.
So is it normal that we complain about race every day?
No, not what the
should we complain about race?
No, we don't have to complain about race every day and stuff like that.
But the racial
365 days a week, 72 hours a day. I'm black.
Okay.
Call it. You're on.
Yes, I'm glad y'all brought up the Constitution, but Sister Khadijah in 1865, we was reprimanded in that Constitution, so by law, which their founding fathers didn't want to give us those rights, our first, second, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, we're in there. And by law, we have all the rights to sue them if they violate any one of our constitutional rights, but that's what they have been doing because we haven't been paying attention. And yes, we must talk about race because it deals with our liberties and freedoms and our justices every day. Matter of fact, every time we think, we all have race on top of that, because as much as we forget about how our people was treated and what they're still doing to our people, now we're using our own black-skinned people to incarcerate and indoctrinate us as nothing. So if we don't talk about it, they won't. We got to stop allowing our thoughts to think that white people are really trying to solve our problems. We were Democrats for 60 years. We were Republicans when we first started to get Lincoln in there. And we had to go to the Civil War to fight for our rights. So why do we got to stop doing what we've been doing to get our rights to be amended as constitutional rights? Because as you notice, they violate us every day by us not saying nothing about Black Lives Matter. And whoever gets offended by that is their problem, not ours, because our lives do matter when we look at our children and grandchildren. Because if we don't do something with our grandchildren, we'll be back to slavery. And white folks need to join in, because I'm seeing a lot of black people coming in our black neighborhood, and we are sharing the wealth with them, while their white people are kicking them out of the white subdivision because they feel they don't belong. And that's why we got to preach to the white people who don't know they're racist, but make them realize they're being treated worse than the niggas that they talk about. So thank y'all.
Okay, caller, you have a question or comment? You're on. You're on, caller. We're gonna caller, you're on. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, you're on.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm watching the program right now.
Oh, you watching us?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
okay. And I see the lady and the guy. Okay. My point is, she's 100% right. But you know what? My mom used to say charity begins in the home. See, you get the young blacks that gunning each other, selling this drug, wearing their pants off their butt, and all this crap that's going on. We need to take care of our home, our neighborhoods first. Okay, even though she's right about the Constitution, it's not for us. It never was.
Right, but let me ask you this. All right, if I take care of my children, my grandkids, they can't come home with their pants sagging. I see another young man with his pants sagging. I can't tell him, why don't you pick up your pants? You know, so if I'm doing my part, why is it that the good has to always suffer for the bad? I hate that. You know, I'm doing my part. My nephews and y'all not coming home with y'all pants sagging with no belt, you know. But I'm doing my part. So if I'm doing my part, you doing your part, but there's others that's not doing their part. Where are we at?
Right. Well, we really going backwards, because really it is mostly when you get these young men doing that, they don't have the father figure in their life that's treating them, that know how to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? Because the mothers are usually raising these kids, and once they become a certain age, you can't get them to wash dishes or cut grass when they want to hang out and listen to. I mean, I'm not against all rap, but all the negative rap with all this fantasy world of having all this money and cars and all the women. See, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Word of God, and that's why I base my life on. And I just turned 70, so that's a blessing to be that age and growing up in the south side of Chicago. So I know about gangs. I know about Gangster Disciples and Vice Lords.
Yes.
And right now, them brothers every year about 600 murders. Every year, black on black. So that's another black man that's not going to grow up to have a family. Or if he do have a family, them kids going to grow up without their dad. It's sad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I know the Republicans, people like Trump, you know, they don't care. And then you get a guy like from Chicago, Conway West, sitting up talking about, oh, this is my guy, Donald Trump. And I looked at him, you're kidding me, bro. But see, sometimes when you get money, your mind gets distorted. That man don't care nothing about you. Even what he said about the Colin Kaepernick, why you can't say nothing, but the white people can say whatever they want to, when they want to. It's all good. But as soon as the black brother speak up, then he's going to be blackballed or whatever. So I don't deal with him. I try to stay out of their way. People say, well, that's racist. You can call it what you want, but see, I know the devil, and I stay away from the devil.
Okay.
And I stay away from some
Financial.
And been there for years. And it's sad. That's all I want to say, man.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for watching the show on AOC Community Media. Cox 15. We're on new website at 88.3. Also is on that.
Caller, you on? You have a question or comment? The lines are just for caller. You're on. You have a question or comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just going to hang up. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Caller, you have a question or a comment. And I wanted to say something. All of the callers have been enlightening. They all given us some really good information. But I need to say something. I need to say something about, he mentioned about, he was blackballed. Let me clarify something about being blackballed. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're on, ma'am. A question for the team.
Hi. I was born and raised in Lafayette, and I currently live in North Carolina since 2001. I've done everything for my 3 sons. We did scouting. My husband was a scout master. I was the cub master. We invested our own money to run an all-black troop. And out of all of these kids, 3 of them are college graduates. None of my children have achieved that goal. One is in the process, though. He's a senior in college. But I called about the previous caller to say that if you do everything right, there is no right. You do the best. We bring them to church. You give them a foundation. Mm-hmm. It's not about a mother, a father in the home. It's all with God or whoever you serve. Blessings upon your life.
Yes.
Things happen. Tragedies happen. Drugs did not get flown in to this country by black folks. It's an economic necessity that some people have to struggle and survive. But I'm calling particularly about this. When Trump got into office, he unleashed all the poor white hostilities towards black excellence.
Yes.
My kids was in the paper with their troop all the time. And my son, who wanted to be, he attained his associates in accounting, and he was going to be a youth pastor, got married in his freshman year of college. And he is sitting in a jail right now, falsely accused of murdering a toddler.
Oh.
No evidence. The child was hurt prior to being in his
care.
And he noticed within 20 minutes that something was wrong. And could not bring her to the hospital because, first of all, COVID happened.
Yes.
And he was not the child's parent. So he went to try to retrieve the child's parent, and that parent would not come out of the school. So everyone knows that the parent did it, but yet it's a black and white issue. The black boogeyman hurt this poor white child.
Oh.
And so he has not even had a trial. I had to fire the Capitol Defender, borrow against my life insurance policy because I'm battling brain cancer. And praise God, I was able to do that because now I have a sufficient lawyer. And it's like they were going to railroad my son. And so it's not about what you do or what you don't do. It's like we have to cover our children, pray for our children, because you can't just worry about your children. It's like if you do right by your kids, who are they going to marry? Who are going to be their friends? You know, a bullet does not have a name on it. They can't be sheltered. You know, they can't not go to Festival Acadiana or Festival International. You know, I was there just last week for Philadelphia Marriage Conference, and it's like I worry about my nieces and nephews, and I don't get back enough, but I'm dedicated, you know, to seeing my family survive and thrive.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, so I just wanted to share that. You know, so get some lawyers in your family, stay prayed up, but keep your eyes open and don't blame each other, you know.
Right.
Blame the circumstances that we have been born into, but definitely don't keep your eyes closed.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much.
That was a powerful,
we definitely
statement.
got some new callers, too.
Yes, and I wanted to say that when the gentleman who made, everybody has made really, really good comments, good analogies, but I want to say this much, is that when you mention about he was being blackballed, okay, blackballed came from this era with Lucille Ball, where they were claiming that Lucille Ball and all of the some of her friends, they were communists. That's where blackball came from. However, Lucille Ball, who couldn't get work, and several of her other friends couldn't get work because they labeled them as communists. And by them labeling them as communists, who labeled them? It was the white directors, the white producers, the white photographers. They're the one that labeled them as being blackball. In actuality, it's white ball. They're supposed to be labeled as white ball. So let us not try to put everything that's negative with black people, with our heritage. Some of them is not.
Well,
you know,
the Dilbert creator say he want to get as far away from black folks. He urged all white folks to get away from black folks quick.
Well, let me tell you something. Didn't that lady?
I'm sorry.
Didn't that lady say something
Yes.
about your circumstances?
Yes.
You know, and stuff. I'm the oldest of seven. When my mother married her husband, she married the devil himself. You know, our circumstances would have said, well, we're going to be incarcerated, we're going to be dead. That's what our circumstances would have said. But we knew that God had something that was planned for us, even when some of us didn't even know God at that time. Call it. You have a question or a comment?
Yes, I got a quick comment. The lady that called before was exactly right about how we start judging one another. Like the caller before said, it was about family, which she don't understand that a lot of black families are broken up and don't have guidance in parents. But she also mentioned with Donald Trump's so-called release. That was always there. But what we didn't understand as black people, Donald Trump hurt more white people with the regulations that he disbanded because they had more white people on these programs. And that's why I keep insisting that we got to stop helping this country fight one another and get us out of that. Because number one, we got to save ourselves, not this country. This country still looks upon us as second-class citizens. But we always feel we got to go vote for the lesser two evils. They're both evil. And if you so-called believe in God, you should know what evil is. No matter what white man carries the evil, whether it's less or more, it's still evil. And we shouldn't be voting for these people if we know what they're doing. But let these white people destroy this country, and we're going to be free and have our liberties. Because, number one, these white people that's following these white Republicans and Democrats are destroying themselves with hate. Malcolm X said it best, the hate that hate produces is now being turned on them. And he put it in better context when he said the chickens has come home to roost. That's what we got to understand. Let these white people fight for this power. No matter what white people we follow, we still getting used. We got to do our own thing and stop following these white people to our destruction. Thank y'all for having this conversation.
Thank you so much. Attorney Dwyer, do you want to wrap something up right now? We didn't get a chance to talk about one of the most requested topic, which is child support.
According to who? Where you got that poll from?
I got that poll out of the books.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the most requested topic is child support.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
no, like they said, I just want to let y'all know it was a good conversation today, and I agree with the young lady that called. It doesn't matter. You can raise your kids to the best of your knowledge and teach them everything, and it's not our fault that they stray off path. I was in church one day, and the pastor was talking about how sometimes we have to stray off the path to understand that we need to get back on the path. So that's just part of life.
Okay, yes.
And it's not our fault.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind.
And another thing, too, I mean, we're blessed with, everyone is blessed with the color that God gave us. When you look at, they had this ULL student from Lafayette, Louisiana, that he shot 3 people while they were running. 2 of them he killed. The 3rd one he paralyzed for life. Now, he was able to go to this halfway camp right there in St. Martinville, done his little 18 months or whatever months that he done his little 18 months. And as we speak right now, he don't have a felony on his record. He's out of state in college somewhere, and he got that lenient sentence from this judge, from this black judge. So, you know, we have to be mindful of what we're saying and how we are looking at different things, because trust me, with the lady that mentioned about the young man that he's charged with 2nd-degree murder, because you know it's a reason for that, because that judicial system see their color and believe that, okay, I gotta help this white lady out, I gotta help this black man out to the best of my ability. They give them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chances. We barely even get 1 chances. And to go back, that's why we took Louisiana to court, so that black lawyers get the opportunity of becoming black judges. But because they were black, they would have some type of understanding of where we came from. But it's like they're giving you more time than the white judge.
And I'm glad you bringing that up. Here's another one I've been getting. I've been getting a lot of information, and so I went and Googled it myself and see it's happening left and right. You know, now the big box stores, and I'm gonna call them the big box stores. They have.
What's the name of the stores?
The big box stores have those self-checkouts now. More people are getting caught up in.
Right. I don't even go there.
Going to court because they're being issued citation from those companies because they might have forgot something and they walked off with it, and they're getting charged with theft. And even some people are being arrested all over the country. And they're saying the big box stores, and like I said, I'm calling them big box stores, Khadijah.
Yeah.
They're saying they have a lot of theft going on at the self-checkout. Well, hold up. You guys are the ones who instituted the self-checkouts, and now you're blaming the victims who don't know how to navigate these machines, because these machines are they're not perfect.
No, they're not.
And some people are actually getting shortchanged. But most of the time, they're getting tickets and citations for shoplifting, and they made some honest mistakes. So
and
people,
that's a good point you brought up.
What I'm getting from different activists around the country and people, consumer watchers, saying stay away from the self-checkout line.
That's right. That's right.
It's happening. You don't have to believe me. Go and Google it. It is really, really troubling that we have that amount of people going to court for suspected shoplifting. They're not even shoplifting.
And they're not even shoplifting. And that's why whenever I have to go to the store and they're making me go through that counter, I will wait. I will wait for the cashier to come, because I tried. Well, all you got to do is scan the barcode. Well, I done scanned this barcode about 2 times. I'm thinking the rascal scanned correctly.
In some case, you walk out. Except then you walk out with it and not suspecting. You get to the door, somebody want to check your receipt, say you left out with something. they'll take you in the back, and then they'll call the sheriff or the local law enforcement on you. A lot of people across the country.
They do their job.
Yeah. Well, you know,
stop making us do your job then.
And that's in the name of, so to say, making more money for the big box stores.
Well, I don't know if caller, you on? You have a quick question or a comment?
I have a comment.
You're on.
Being y'all talking about self-checkout, I'm like you all. I do not do self-checkout because I remember when they first came out, a person put 2 apples on the scale, but because she had put a little pressure on the scale, the 2 apples registered for $8. So it was brought to her attention. And then I stated one time to a cashier, I said, well, you can't have things that you're not charged for and be able to leave out the store. He said, ma'am, he said, that's not true. I know if someone had a basket full and left out the store with a full basket that he hadn't paid anything for. Like you said, I don't use it because personally I feel like eventually it's going to cause people to lose their job. That's my motto. But then at one of the big box stores, as you call them, I also spoke to a cashier there, and she said 1 or 2 years down, that's all they have to offer. You will not be able to go in the store, and if you go after 6 o'clock in the afternoon, if one of the registers are not opening, one register is open. Everybody that doesn't want to use the self-checkout the line is circled around with people trying to get checked out.
Well, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. They force them to hire human beings to work those registers. Force them.
You know what I say, Sister Khadijah? I say after a while, y'all gonna have a bunch of robots running around this store, and they'll have no persons in there at all.
That's what they trying.
Thank you.
They have them. They have
That's what they trying. Caller, you the last caller. Quick question or comment? You're on. Caller, you the last caller.
Yes, so I witnessed that last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the Walmart store, and a friend of mine was standing up, and he told me he was waiting for his wife. I said, where's she at? He said, she in that room right there. They charging her with shoplifting.
Oh.
The wife? He said, yes, ma'am. He said, they charging her with shoplifting. Because they said she didn't slide everything through the self-checkout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when she gonna go to court, she need to plead what actually it is. She's innocent.
Well,
she's innocent, Jay.
For the record, there are consumer watchdog group have taken this to the legislative body and to Congress upcoming sessions to talk about this, and these companies are doing this in the name of profits.
That's right.
But the unintended consequences are people getting caught up. Yeah, I can understand they want profit, but
right, good people getting caught up.
Yeah.
Caller, yeah. Question or comment? You're the last one.
Yeah, this is Antonio. How y'all doing today?
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to let y'all know that self-checkout almost got me caught up. I was with my daughter, and them candy bars started ringing up a penny each.
Right.
A penny each.
A penny.
Where they didn't want to believe me, to where if I would have told my daughter to check it out, we would have been in court. But I had to tell them that it was malfunctioning, to where they had to remove the candy bars off the shelf for them ringing up a penny each.
Yeah.
Where we wouldn't have said nothing and would have walked off, we would have been in court somewhere, or they would have never known.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those self-checkouts,
stay away
it will get people caught up.
And it doesn't have nothing to do with that you can't navigate technology. It has more to do with their system is not functioning for what they thought it would be doing,
That's right. And now they use the self-checkouts for them to go stock shelves.
Yes.
They don't even want to do their job.
Right.
So that's what was going on the whole time.
Right.
Everyone is in the back of the store, or they're on the aisle, and some will see you about it. The regular checkout.
Right.
And they'll pretend like they don't see you and just walk off.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. If a person decides to walk off out of the store and the price check is malfunctioning, that's not their fault.
No, that's not.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have to remove the whole box off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it took some time because they want to go back and forth, and it had the manager come in there thinking I done did something with my phone.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I got crypto code or something.
Walmart is losing.
I just had to let y'all know about this one. Yeah.
Well, let's say the big box.
People are caught up all worldwide.
Thank you, caller. The big box stores are losing money left and right, and that's because they changed too fast. They didn't implement certain protections for the consumer, and so they're getting a backlash. Also around the country. So all you have to do is Google it, and you're going to all these videos of a lot of people complaining. They're all over the place. So certainly we want to put that out because, you know, there's a big concern enough to go before Congress to address the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother. And I heard who going to be in the movie soon? Antonio Jackson?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I didn't want to plug that. I didn't want to plug it.
Or you want to wait till it come out, or you want to talk about it for a minute?
You know, hey, God been answering prayers, man. And I said a prayer for my New Year's resolution, and ever since then, they've been falling out of the sky. I will be in my first movie as a stunt double today, directed by Joe Mexican.
Yes, I know him.
It will be downtown Lafayette by the Empire of the Seed venue, but it's Calcasieu Marie Bank. And I will be featured as
the bad guy.
A thief in a bank heist. A stunt double.
You went through the self-check. You went through the self-checkout.
It's a paid gig.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It'll be downtown at 5 o'clock today. So I just been busy, man, with my kids and everything. And now I got time to prepare for this role. Yeah. So this is my first one, y'all. It will be on IMDb.
Okay.
With the Internet Movie Database. I will get my first credit.
Well, there you go, my brother.
It will be featured on Amazon and Roku. So I'll keep y'all updated on that one, too.
Okay. All right, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Right, man.
And we want that autograph when you get
y'all, man.
All right.
Yeah, to everybody, y'all, please, even if y'all got to call the managers by themselves, self-checkout, call them. Or even if you got to leave a machine and go to the next machine. This just recently happened in Target to where someone can walk out of the store and their items are already in the system. I have to say this one. I just thought of it. You can go scan your item. Your stuff ring up $29, $89. They're looking at you like you done stole something. So walk off and go to the next machine and check out.
Yes.
Or call a manager or call someone in the area, and they'll go with that bull crap like they don't see you, but they're watching you the whole time. Because half the time it's people that don't even want to do their job. They standing up talking or in their phone. So if you got to go to another machine, just so that thing have the camera and witness you checking your items out and you get your receipt, walk on off.
Thank you for that advice, my brother.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank y'all.
Well, yes, and we were... Oh, I'm sorry.
Attorney Dwight, you know, and I bring it up because it's important. That's an important issue, Khadijah. People have to deal with being a suspected, criminal in a criminal justice issue because you've gone to the store, ordinary people, you know.
I remember a mayor from New Iberia was in Super One, stole some fishing hooks in Super One. Super One refused to press charges against him. But had that been me and it looked like I picked up a hairpin, they're going to swear to God I had stole something. So, don't go to those self-checkout. Go in the line. Just wait. They're going to have to, when they're going to see people that's not moving to that checkout line, they're going to have to send out other people. Carly, you have a question or comment? You're on.
I have a comment.
You're on.
Y'all were speaking about the judges and how y'all wanted black judges to become judges and lawyers to become judges. But I had an experience with a black judge, and it's a case against two black people. my daughters were victims, and the girl that committed the crime was black. And what the judge did, he was concerned more about the criminal than my daughters as victims, because they had been going through this for 5 years, and finally went to court. And the girl was found guilty, and they because it was intentional what she done. But when we went for the sentencing, well, the judge stated that he didn't feel that he wouldn't have gave her jail time. He would have gave her just probation. So he had the audacity to tell me that that if it was up to him, he wouldn't give her no time, but that he would stake his reputation that she would never do this again. But yet he's a judge that's supposed to be impartial instead of biased, because I felt that was a biased comment. And then when so he sentenced her to the lesser sentence, which was 10 years, where she had she could have got between 10 to 50 years, but he sentenced her to 10 years with no probation, no parole. And I was like, I was upset, but then I said, you know what, that's good, because then she would have to stay in there for 10 years without, getting out, and then she would get the help she needs for herself and think about what she done to my daughters. And, well, little did I know that when they did a re-sentence, the judge gets to decide what the sentence is. And he took back the 10 years and gave her six years probation. So I was really upset about that, because, and then when we got out of court, he wanted to explain to my daughters and I that he was trying to help both of us. I said, how are you trying to help both sides when this girl did this to my daughter, but you seem like you're more concerned about the victim because she supposedly got raped and molested while she was in there for 6 months that she did do before going to for the second sentence. And I was just so upset about that, and like I said, we plan to appeal it, because I feel that was an unjust done, and that's why you got so many angry people walking around here, because you go to the court system to do a job and look for justice for things that have been how could I say this, unfair to them, and that they deserve to get punished for what they did, and they don't get it. And I just felt that the judge should have stepped aside if he knew this person personally, because I felt this was like something that was done in favor of the criminal. And my daughter is scarred for life,
Oh, my land. Yes,
and I feel, and then another thing is that they gave them supposed to give them $50,000, 25 apiece for both of my daughters, but yet they're giving them $125 a month.
What?
Is that not a joke? Yeah, that's a joke. It is really a joke. And $50,000, you know how many years that's going to take to pay that off?
Oh,
and he's saying he's trying to he was trying to do this to get for my daughter to get reconstructive surgery. How could does a surgeon take layaway plans?
You're gonna have to give me your number off of the air.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I really want to know who this judge is.
Judge Royal Colbert.
Oh.
And I think he is just so unfair. He does not deserve to be in there if he's going to just, make decisions like that. Because he took an oath to uphold the law, and he's not doing that for me. And I've always taught my children that to believe in the justice system, don't, go to violence because that's what they're there for. But, just to see something like this come out from something done so intentional, and they just let it like it's nothing.
Okay.
And the girl walking around free, and my daughter's still scarred and has to wear a wig for the rest of her life.
Oh, my Lord.
Her backside is scarred up. She really should not be working, but she has a daughter to care for,
Okay. I want you to take my telephone number. Give me a call.
Okay. While she take that off air, Attorney Dwight, you have any? You've been on the line. You've been listening. It's almost like you in court right now.
Exactly.
Well, it's a lot of serious stories, and we are definitely appreciate the callers, that, they being honest with us and stuff like that. If we want to just keep it in a situation where we could, be able to have the show in a let's say respectful manner on some of the things being talked about.
It's not a private call that you were. Right. I'm just calling to make another comment on the subject and
thank you so much,
unit that y'all were talking about just a minute.
Okay, come on in, Attorney Dwyer. I mean, you're on, sir. You got a couple of minutes. You're on, sir. You're on.
Yes. Okay. Hello.
Yes, you're on.
Okay. The issue with a lot of the self-checks that I found, and I used to be a part of a labor union before I retired, and we used to run across a lot of the customer service problems that these folks have in the stores, the Walmart Super Ones, Target, and they have wound up taking and away from these people's livelihoods and jobs to put self-checks in, and then they put the responsibility of burden on the customer coming into the stores back and forth. And we used to have this fight a lot of times with these companies because we wanted to at least have a fair shake on both sides, the employer, the customer service people that's at the checkouts, and the customer. So we used to run across this a lot when we would have these meetings with these folks, and they would be appalled almost like, why would you want to try and get a union in these things? Because we wanted protection for these people, because when a customer comes in, I'm a consumer as well, just like my family and other folks.
Yes.
We wanted to make sure that there was some fairness all the way across the board.
Sir, you have a lot of feedback.
Now we having these people targets on their backs, basically, with the cameras watching them and accusing them falsely a lot of times.
Right. Sir, turn off your radio. You got too much feedback.
I'm sorry. I thought I had it on enough.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, you're really good. Look, we could bring back that subject next Wednesday, Brother Jay. Would you be able to listen in next Wednesday?
I will try my best, because I'm usually traveling on the road from different places while I'm on the job. So, yes, I'll be able to listen.
Okay.
We definitely appreciate his comments, because that's what we were talking about.
Okay, yes, we definitely appreciate your comments and everything. Thank you so much, sir. We have our other guest that's in the studio right now, Miss Marjorie. Thank you, sir, and Miss Marjorie. You're here, and we want to thank you for being here. I know you want to talk about the trauma that you've been experiencing with your son, and if you can go ahead and are you able to get her on the
Sister
screen?
Khadijah.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me do a wrap up before y'all do that.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's been great talking with y'all today. I don't think I threw out my disclaimer because we jumped right in, but as usual, any information obtained here today was strictly informational or attorney-client privilege or relationship had formed. In the meantime, if y'all need to get in contact with me, y'all can contact me at 337-534-4020. Once again, 337-534-4020.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all that you do, Attorney Dwyer. All right.
All right, y'all have a good day. All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought she was off. This is Miss Marjorie. Miss Marjorie, tell us, tell us a little something of why you're here. We done a segment at AOC with you dealing with your son. Put the mic a little up. Can you just tell us why are you speaking out the way you've been speaking out?
Well, again, Bryson is still incarcerated. I'm struggling. I'm trying. I'm really trying to get this money together to get him out. If I prolong it to March the 14th, they're trying to revoke his bond from 2021. If I let that happen, his bond is going to be over $300,000. Right now, he's sitting on a bond at $150,000. If I can't touch him at $150,000, there's no way I'll touch him at over $300,000.
So what is he charged with?
The first charge is possession of a stolen firearm and armed robbery.
Okay. Elaborate on that, please, because when we done this on our segment, I just need you to elaborate on that.
Okay.
The person that had that the police officer had the weapon was
Jen. It was the Laotian boy. And again, I'm going to state this over and over. And like I told you before, Miss Khadijah, I'm going to take this to my grave on what that detective told me hours after they arrested Bryson.
Say what he told you.
He told me when I spoke to him, his name was Detective McBride. I couldn't pinpoint that Bryson would actually do such thing. His words were to me, Miss Montreal, Bryson was not the actual robber. Okay, well, if Bryson wasn't the actual robber,
why is Bryson
getting arrested and not the actual robber? Well, we're in the process of arresting him. As of today, the boy still never got incarcerated. I met her face-to-face with the young guy a few weeks ago at the store.
Mm-hmm.
And again, all I'm asking for is for help, some kind of guidance to get my child out of there.
Okay, what about the public defender, which we know is a joke?
Yeah, I reached out to him, me and a pastor, and I asked him, is there any way you could get Bryson into court for a bond reduction? His words to me was, it's not going to happen because they were trying to revoke his bond.
Now, that's what his court-appointed attorney told you.
Correct.
What's his court-appointed attorney name?
Ryan Harris.
Okay, that's what Ryan told you. All right. So by Ryan telling you that, what else did you try to do?
I even tried for house arrest. I tried everything in my power to get this child home, and it's just not working in our favor. It's just not.
And I know you felt like in the 16 JDC, they do what they want, how they want to do it, and your son, who got caught up, should not be in that jail.
Correct. And again, September of 21 of last year, Bryson got incarcerated again by being at a friend's house. The police was called there. Upon arrival, they located a gun inside the lady's residence, and Bryson got charged with it.
Okay, so he was visiting a resident.
Correct.
And somehow, I don't know how it happened, somehow the police just came there and they found the weapon, and they took Bryson for the weapon, even though he was a visitor and not the homeowner or the homeowner's son.
Correct.
You know what police officer that was?
No, there was a whole bunch of them.
When you say a whole bunch, you mean more than?
More than one officer.
Okay.
But my word exchange was with, they call him Cap. He is the captain of the New Iberia City Police.
Okay, they call him Cap. Okay, all right. So what you're trying to say is that not only should your son not be incarcerated for these way out of term charges, but you shouldn't have to be going through what you're trying to raise money for him, his little baby. To get him out of jail.
Correct. He does have a daughter who just made 4 months old that he never got a chance to hold or see.
So we're here. We're trying to find out if we could get some type of reputable lawyer that don't have any kinds of ties with Iberia Parish to come in and take your case. In order for them to get in touch with you, you could give out your number and I could give out my number. You could go ahead and give your number.
My number is 337-967-0353. Again, 337-967-0353.
Okay. And why should we be concerned about your son? Why is it that you're pale and blue and you're going all over to get your son out of jail? Why should the listening audience be concerned about what happened to your son?
Well, Miss Khadijah, I don't want what's happening to my child to happen to somebody else's child. Okay? Like for your first offense, his first offense, his bond was $150,000.
First offense, bond $150,000.
Correct.
And what it was, his first offense?
The armed robbery and
the armed robbery of the Laotian that
actually did the robbery.
Actually did the robbery. That the police officer know that he done it.
Correct.
However, the Laotian, he was never picked up, but your son has been incarcerated for how long now?
I sold dinners. I had family. I had friends that helped me sell dinners to get him out. He did 3 months. Now, Miss Khadijah, if I could take you and the listening people back.
Okay, take
to
us back.
March the 5th.
March the 5th.
Of 2021, they arrested Bryson again on multiple charges, which months after that, every single charge was dropped. I'm not understanding how the system works.
Okay. He was arrested on
March the 5th.
March the 5th.
I'm sorry, March the 5th.
March the 5th of 2021.
21. Correct.
And each of the charges that they had, several charges were dropped.
Correct.
And the reason why those charges was dropped is, you could just about say it is because they didn't have the evidence for those charges. However, he's marked, and here comes the following months.
Yes, ma'am. And also from his court-appointed attorney, his words was, Bryson is a target for Iberia Parish City Police.
A court-appointed attorney is who?
Ryan Harris.
Ryan Harris. Now, I'm looking directly at you and everything, and I see that you're a Caucasian woman. Is your son Caucasian?
My child is considered as being for a black man. He is black.
He's black.
You know, I'm not sure if they're looking at it that way. You know, the mom's white, the child is black, the daddy's black. But to me, color has nothing to do with this.
It shouldn't. It
you
shouldn't.
know, and it shouldn't. And again, like I stated before, if you put a white boy and a little young black boy, you get them to do the same crime, that black boy will never see daylight again. And I'm saying the true facts.
Yeah, yes, I know you
and
are.
I'm sure they got millions of people that would feel the same way that I'm feeling. It's just so hurting to where I don't even know where to start to get justice for my child.
I definitely feel you on that. So you're asking the listening audience to help you. Your telephone number is
337-967-0353. I'm just so emotional, and I'm sorry. Again, he has a 4-month-old daughter that the mother thought I could have got Bryson out so he could spend time with his daughter. It's not working that way. This boy, hopefully with the grace of God, I could get him home, and the mom is planning on leaving to move to Mississippi with the baby girl. That's just way beyond the point. I'm trying everything to keep her here so he could hold his baby for the first time.
Caller.
Oh, yes. So when he was arrested at the house with the people who he went visit, were they arrested? And what was their bond?
No, ma'am. They was not arrested. He's the only individual that got arrested.
Thank you.
Well, we're at a standstill. Okay. Okay. But he right now you're trying to get an attorney pro bono.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
anybody that could help out.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little something about Bryson.
Bryson is 19 years old. He'll be 20 in March. He has one child that's just made 4 months old. Bryson is still a student in school. And Bryson done lost 2 jobs by him getting incarcerated. This time when he got incarcerated, that night, he was due to leave to go out of town for American Tank.
Mm.
And again, still a student in school.
And as you can see, I know from working with you, you've done everything that you could possibly do.
I tried everything. Done contacted plenty of people. I just don't know which way to turn it. And again, it's just a hurting feeling. I don't want nobody else out there to go through what I'm going through with the 16th Judicial District and the New Iberia City Police.
Yes, yes, yes. And if we've said this, we've spoken about it on the AOC. We've tried to get help. We're asking, well, not so much as asking as begging, if any attorney would be interested in taking the case pro bono. Ms. Mathurin telephone number is 337-967-0353. 337-967-0353. And Ms. Mathurin, because you know that your son is innocent of these crimes that they have convicted him on. Well, not so much as convicted him on, but has caused him to be in jail. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
I have a comment. Does she can she start like a GoFundMe account if she can get an attorney to take the case? That attorney set up like a GoFundMe account where people can contribute to that attorney that's willing to help her. And in the future and after that, I hope everything goes well. If that can be set up, that he definitely changes that he changes friends, and think about his kid. I don't mean to be harsh, but that's one of the steps that he definitely needs to make. But if he can get a GoFundMe account started, I'm pretty sure many of us would, try to help because there's so much unjust out there. So, also go to Channel 10, go to the news media, let everybody know what's going on, how he's being blackballed. I mean, if you have a detective that's saying that he didn't do it and they still doing that to him, something apparently is just not right. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard of GoFundMe?
Yes, ma'am, I have, and I really appreciate him saying that. I would have never thought of a GoFundMe account. I really never thought of it.
Right, and it's a GoFundMe account to get Bryson out of jail. Right now his bond is
$150,000.
So is it 12% or
12%?
Okay, 12% of $150,000 is.
It's about $18,000.
Say that again.
If I go through a bondsman, I called several bondsmen. One bondsman wants up front $7,500 with monthly plans. I reached out to another bondsman. They want $14,000 right up front with monthly plans. I don't have that kind of money.
Golly, not only do you not have that kind of money, but just the interest, just the way that they're doing it. And then that's dead money because You
Yes,
won't be able to
ma'am.
see that 18,000.
Because when Bryson got arrested on March the 5th, they had set his bond up to $143,000, which I got a bondsman. The charges got dropped, and I still have to continue paying this bondsman.
The charges got dropped. How much did you pay this bondsman?
I came up with a total of $7,500.
And that's dead money.
Correct.
Oh, no. Caller, you have a brief question. We have to get off of the air.
Yeah, I got a brief question. Ma'am, I can feel your pain, but don't spend money on bondsman. Save that for a lawyer because the bond will drop. And I know you're trying to get him out, and these people know you're trying to get him out, and they're going to put that cap on him for you to rush and get all that money. But save your money for a good attorney. Don't get no public attorney. Court appointed, don't get that. Wait for the bond to drop. It's got to drop because it's costing the taxpayers, each time you incarcerate somebody, money. And they want you to put the bond down so they can have the money. And the bondsmen working with those judges today. So don't be confused about that. They know judges and got their phone numbers in their pockets. And judges will work for money under the table. So save the money for a lawyer. You will get him out with the charges might drop, but the bond definitely have to come down. So don't be in a rush for that. Black people go through it every day, ma'am. But I'm sorry for your losses.
Thank you.
Caller? Okay.